Welcome to baseball season's 1988 Hollywood ending.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
As spring training 1988 began, all across the game, memories were still fresh of thrilling finishes the previous fall.
Detroit Tigers sweep the series and win the American League East.
The Red Sox are coming off a win in their previous game. Hello, everyone. I'm Dwayne Kuiper along with Mike Krukow for EA Sports MVP Baseball. Looking forward to a good game, and we're set to go. Starting for the home team, Oliver Perez. This game features the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. This batter isn't going to turn any heads with this swing.
That was exciting. As a Dodger, thinking about Kirk coming to the team, we were looking for help.
Kirk will bring a tremendous amount to our ball club. He brings power, he brings speed, he brings dedication, and he brings
65 degrees,
tremendous
not too hot,
competitive
not
spirit.
too cold, but just about right for baseball.
They've proven to me, and I believe that they're committed to restoring the winning tradition, and I think we all would remember this organization for.
I think the biggest statement he made was the fact that when you're on the field, you're there to play, we're there to win. Nothing else gets in your way of that.
When I step on the field,
That was a purpose.
I may have been some.
Change up off the
I saw
plate,
my
hoping the
actions.
batter would go chase it.
But I want to be quite honest with you, I don't step on the field to make friends.
3-2.
Good idea right there. Trying to get the batter to chase it. Now he's further behind the
We've got a commitment to our fans to win. You can rest assured that every guy on
He
that
gets a
team,
called third strike.
when we leave
Harder
spring
gets ahead of
training,
him and never looks
will
back.
believe
Sweet strikeout.
that the Dodgers are going to finish number one.
Everybody comes into spring training saying we're going to win a world
The next
championship.
batter
But players
is
know
Willie
you come in to
Bloomquist.
see what you can do and accomplish.
Okay, we got it.
Pitching would also be a big part of the equation. And a big part of the Dodger rotation was six-year veteran Oral Hershiser, looking to improve on 500 records in 86 and 87.
Some of the other years, maybe we didn't have quite the defense, or maybe we didn't have quite the offense, or maybe I wasn't quite as sharp. There's a lot of components to putting together a magical season.
The New York Mets knew plenty about magical
it's 1-2.
seasons, and they were hungry for
Sometimes you
another
try to
one
make the
after a
hitter chase your
frustrating
pitch. That's
second-place
exactly what you
finish
saw
in
right there.
87.
Last year was a difficult year, with all the injuries, and we just started getting something going, and then a key player would go down, and it was tough to really get that steamrolling effect through the
He
season.
makes the play.
curtain is
Kuiper's quick reaction
on the
led
New
it for
York
an inline
Mets.
drive. Nice play.
After 86,
Stepping
87
in,
wasn't
Miguel
our best season.
Tejada.
So 88 was kind of like a rebound year for us. We felt like everything's behind
Misses
us
for a
now.
ball.
Let's
This
get back to where we
left-hander
should have been
throws seeds. His
all
fastball really
along,
gets on
and
hitters very
that was our mindset going into camp.
I'm excited
it
about
over
this
for
year.
a
I really
strike.
feel the guys are hungry again. It's going to be a great year.
The outlook was good. We had a fresh start after the 87 season.
He
We
goes
had a
out
great
to
team.
right.
Darryl Strawberry's greatness was growing.
What a
And after a
catch.
career-high 39
Good
home
jump
runs
right
in
there. Good
87,
speed, great
the sky
instincts.
looked to be
That's
the
what
limit
that
for the straw man.
Straw came into camp that
Starting
year,
on the hill
wanted to
for
be
the
the best player in the
visiting
National
team,
League.
Jimmy Gobble.
Physically, he was at his peak, and then mentally, I think he was at his peak.
Once I step between the white lines, it's strictly business. I'm serious about what I have to do, and I'm very dedicated to my work now. And I feel 1988 is going to be one of my strongest years I ever had in my life.
And when the Mets broke camp and headed north to Queens, the left-handed slugger backed up his lofty predictions, crushing 11 home runs in his club's
He's
first
thrown
41
24 innings
games.
this season, and against the batters are hitting a respectable average of 258. This ball is out of here.
But the pitching staff, headlined by Dwight Gooden, was still the Mets'
And
biggest
they get to
weapon.
call 2 balls and 1 strike.
And in May of '88, David Cohn joined Doc and Company in the rotation
Gathers it in
full-time
with his glove.
and quickly
Out
made an
number
impression.
1.
Having gotten a taste of the rotation the year before in 87, and then starting in the bullpen again in 88, and realizing, I can start. And that was my goal. I wasn't going to be
Gets the
satisfied just
call
being
for a
in
strike.
relief for the Mets.
Great pitch in the black. Would have been a call
Cohn
strike
won
even
his
if the batter
first
didn't
7
swing through it.
decisions, helping the club to an NL Best 30-11 start. 2 years after the magic of '86,
Gobble
the move in
delivers
New
out of the
York
zone,
was
and it's
unmistakably
1-2.
familiar.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Plenty of time to settle under this pop fly.
North of the border, reigning AL MVP George Bell picked up where he left off with an opening day milestone.
Next up, Miguel Cabrera.
Breaking ball, left center field. Wilson.
Down low for a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
George has had a monster
Gobble
year,
gets
one
a strike.
MVP
It's 1-1.
And so to see him in 88, right out the box comes
that one's
opening day.
He's on his way to second. Sends the throw to the cutoff man. Stand-up double.
Cabrera
Bell became the first player ever to hit 3 home runs on opening day and would continue to be a valuable offensive presence for Toronto all season.
Strike with a fastball.
While Bell was off to that historic start, the Orioles started off historically bad.
Gobble delivers a ball, and it's 1-1.
Everyone out of the strike zone.
A tough start to the season. 0-21, yeah, no, that's a tough start.
1 ball,
And
2
Baltimore's
strikes.
brutal beginning had baseball's royal family reeling early on in the 88 campaign,
Struck him out looking.
derailing Ripken family plans.
Well, I mean, we had some tough, heartbreaking losses in the first 6 games, and then they fired Dad.
After 1, no
and
score
I think
here.
that whole firing really threw our club, for a loop.
Lynn comes over and makes the dive, but does not get it.
We were like the Bad News Bears personified. So it was a brutal, brutal experience.
Easy play for the right fielder. The catch is made. Never in
Frank
doubt.
Robinson came in to manage the team. And I joke now and say, okay, we lost the first 6 games of the season just to prove that it wasn't
towards third base.
Dad's fault. We lost 15 and more in a row.
We got him right here.
Up
Red
next,
Sox.
Sean Casey.
Just 2 seasons removed from a World Series appearance, the Boston Red Sox were hoping that 1988 had some residual magic.
That ball is hit deep to left field. Forget this one is gone. A home run.
Fenway's finest featured a familiar mix of veterans, led by the game's most productive hitter,
Boggs spins the base hit to left field.
who was in search of a 6th consecutive
Just a bit
200-hit
inside.
season.
1-2.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Boggs gets his
And it's now 2-2.
With Boggs leading the hit
Going out of the
parade,
zone.
the
Fish were
88
fighting.
Sox would often turn to 24-year-old Mike Greenwell for the heavy lumber.
He crushed that one.
Greenwell's an interesting guy.
Caught it at the wall.
He was a
Heading
hitter.
into the bottom of the second.
He was
The
in that
game is
lineage of Red
scoreless.
Sox left fielders starting, Ted Williams to Yaz to Rice to Greenwell. And, a left fielder who could hit.
When this guy steps in against left-handed pitching, he expects results. Takes slow.
On the mound, Boston was fueled by a rocket in his prime, who was coming off 2 straight Cy Young seasons.
As far as dominating and carrying the ball club, it was Roger. I think there's nobody better, and he was really a big part.
Good start to the inning. A leadoff single.
But even with
Next at the
Clemens,
plate,
the
Mike
Sox fell
Lowe.
10 games back by early June, leading to talk about a possible change in the
Gobble
Fenway
misses
dugout.
1-0.
Here, ladies and gentlemen, your
1 on and nobody out. Caught him looking.
Infield's got to think about playing a double play depth
On
right now.
paper, the Oakland A's appeared to be the best in the West,
2
with a
balls, 1
star-studded
strike.
cast and a skipper destined for Cooperstown.
And here's the delivery.
As I look at this 88
There's a
club,
strike with the curveball.
I know the names are great with Canseco, McGuire, Walt Weiss, and you can go on and on across the board. But really the one name that stands out to me is Tony La Russa. He changed the game of baseball in Oakland.
You walk into that situation, it was perfect. If you look at the roster, it was, I mean, all
The next
stars.
batter is Lance Brookman. James misses downstairs.
This pitcher has one solid pitch
Probably
and
as good a
throws it
push
up
button
front.
team as you can ever expect.
Pushing the right
There's a
buttons
strike.
was a La Russa
He's
trademark,
registered no wins and 3 losses so far.
and his finger was always on the pulse of his pitching
Misses for a
staff,
ball.
led by a
Double
hometown
play
hero
situation.
team.
Pitcher's got to try and keep the ball down here to force the hitter to hit the ball on the ground.
Stewart got an opportunity.
The count
Dave
is 2-2.
was a true number 1. I mean, he stood up there and he wanted the ball, and
Gobble
the
gets
way he
the
competed
strikeout.
so ferociously.
He falls behind, makes great pitches, however, comes all the way back and gets the strikeout.
It was just a complete club
that part of it was a trade that was made in the spring training of '87. Just a fortify rotation. They brought Dennis Eckersley from Chicago.
Gobble delivers, and it's 1-0.
You can do a whole feature on Eck's story because he was a young star in the big leagues, pitched a no-hitter, 120 games.
On the outside edge.
So we brought him in, and while we waited to see if a starter got hurt, we used him in relief. He just went in there and wiped out guys. In 1988, Eck's our closer, and
they appealed to first,
he went on to Hall of Fame career.
He struck him out, and Dennis Eckersley has saved the big one for the Oakland A's.
All season, Eckersley anchored the AL's best bullpen,
Strike three, call.
pacing the A's to the top of the standings and making them a World Series.
He gives up the one-out walk.
Nothing positive comes out of this guy, Nick.
Throughout their illustrious past, the LA Dodgers have taken pride in dominant pitching.
Drysdale fires again.
And the 1988 installment looked to take a bite out of history with their Bulldog ace.
Swing and a miss, strike three.
One ball.
As a unit, the team pitched very, very
Strikes out
well.
by 7 for 9 innings. A pretty impressive total.
Statistically, I don't know if we were the best in the league. I know we threw a lot of shutouts.
Hit towards the shortstop.
When the team and everybody as a whole is doing
That's the
important
third
things,
out with 2 men
and
left
historic
on
things.
base.
Of course, my year's going to look better because it's an accumulation of team energy and team output.
As the season went on, the Dodgers fed off their pitching prowess. And in Hollywood, the hope was that this summer blockbuster would result in a fall classic.
John McNamara has done just about everything he can do this season.
No balls, 1 strike.
And he has every reason to be frustrated and disappointed with his team's performance thus far.
Meanwhile, in Boston, it was a nightmare on Lansdowne Street. And in mid-July, just 2 seasons removed from a World Series appearance, skipper John McNamara took the fall.
Out of the zone,
Sox
that's
turned
a
to
ball.
Joe Morgan for a jolt. Morgan's mission was to overcome a 9-game deficit at the
Down he
season's
goes on
midpoint,
strikes.
as the Detroit Tigers were pacing the American League East. Out west, the A's had bashed their way to 20 games over 500, 5.5 games ahead of Minnesota. And in the National League, the Mets were 3.5 ahead of Pittsburgh, while the Dodgers were the best in the West, 2.5 ahead of San Francisco at the All-Star break. On July 12th, the game's elite gathered in Cincinnati for the 59th Midsummer Classic. The Oakland A's boasted 5 All-Stars, including their unsung catcher, who would soon take center stage.
Batting in a 3-pitch strikeout. The pitcher wins the battle. Sweet pitch to get the K.
Number 36, Harry Steinbach.
There's a drive into right field, and Max Strawberry all the way back, and he's got him his glove and over the wall for a home run. Harry Steinbach, the all-star, who a lot of people said
1 ball and no strike.
Steinbach's homer off NL starter Doc Gooden opened the scoring, and 1 inning later he pushed across the game's decisive
Third out,
run with
we go to the
bases
bottom of
loaded.
the inning. After 2.5, the game is scoreless.
deep enough to score a run. Back goes Coleman, makes the catch.
Top of the order is up next.
Scores easily to
This
make
guy
it
is great at
2-0.
getting the bat on the ball.
Out of the zone, that's a ball.
In the ninth, Steinbach's teammate Dennis
exactly what you
Eckersley
saw
came in
right
to
there.
seal the victory.
Gobble misses again. The count is 2-0.
You would break him all out of the strike zone, trying to get that batter to go chasing.
A lot of people
Out
said,
of the
why
zone,
is
that's
Gary
a ball.
Steinbach the starting
Sometimes you
catcher?
try to
If
make
this
the hitter
voting
chase your
situation
pitch.
is out of
Exactly what
hand.
you saw
You
right
kind of
there.
quieted those critics.
The highlight of my career.
Fastball
That I had the
for
home
a
run,
strike.
had sack fly, and
Pitcher's lucky that
won the
fastball
MVP.
wasn't hit him on.
8-8-88.
Walk number 3 given up in the ball game.
First night baseball
He showed a
game
great eye right
ever
there. He was
played
patient,
at
worked the pitcher,
Wrigley Field.
ended up with a free pass.
Well, you know, it's going to be his game, so
Steps into the plate.
glad to be part of it.
No outs, and the runner at first is off.
On August
He
8th, a
steals second.
long-awaited power surge hit Chicago's North
That guy had a
Side.
huge
Wrigley
lead over
Field
there.
was now open
Pitcher
for
fell asleep
business
and
on
forgot all
bright
about it.
lights.
Look at the lights flickering all over Wrigley Field. And here
Just
we go.
got
With
some
the
wood
brand
on
new
it.
bulbs blaring, Wrigley Night Baseball was born.
It's gone. It's out of here.
Until Mother
Got him
Nature
looking.
put a damper on the
3
electric
pitches, 3
vibe.
strike. Doesn't get easier than that.
It's really coming down now.
Up next,
The first
Miguel
nine game
Cabrera.
is not
1
the
out and
first
a runner
night
on
game.
second.
This game has been called
Curveball
off
for a
because
strike.
about 2.5 hours it's still raining.
No swing.
As the second half of the 1988 season began, the Tigers occupied the top spot in the AL East.
We don't know where we'll finish
He
when we
delivers
start
a
it.
called
But the
strike.
one thing we do care about is how they do it backwards.
Leading the second half charge in Detroit was Jack Morris.
Toward that fastball just out of the zone. Tough pitch to hit. Batted didn't off by Jack Morris.
Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, the Brewers were looking to stay in the hunt, with Robin Young celebrating new career milestones along the way.
It's hit out to center. He makes the catch.
And in the Bronx, the
turn the
bomber
double
lineup
play.
was the Yankees'
Nice
biggest
pitch there to get
strength.
the fly ball. Nice work.
This thing isn't going to be won here in July. It's not going to be won in August. It's going to be won sometime in September.
By the end of July,
After
though,
three,
it was the
no
Red Sox
score
who had
here.
used the summer to heat up, with the team reborn under
Today's
the
game is
leadership
brought
of
to you
new
by
manager
EA
Joe Morris.
Sports. EA Sports, it's in the game. He delivers. Missed the fastball down around the knees.
Maybe we can't win this thing, but certainly we can creep up the ladder.
And the Red Sox win their 5th in a row since the All-Star break and under Joe Morgan.
Under the Walpole, Massachusetts native and former Boston College star, the Sox were simply a different team. Boston's run was propelled by its offense, at the center of which was the incomparable Wade Boggs.
Boggsy in '88 is one of the best hitters in baseball.
Next at the plate, Willie Bloomquist. This righty has decent success against
15th
lefty
inning
pitchers.
or 2 hours after a rain delay.
He makes
this
a
guy did not get a
spectacular
fastball.
catch.
And Boggs
He
made
showed
hitting
amazing
history in
reflexes to get a good
1988
beat
as
off of
well.
that ball. That was a pretty good play and a tough line drive.
200 hit for 6 straight years. What a feeling of accomplishment that has to be.
A few slots down in the batting order was Boston's RBI machine, Mike Greenwell.
No balls, 2 strikes.
That's the type of hitter I am. I like to be under the gun, as they say, or have the pressure on me. And if there's no better spot in the line, it would be the number 4 hitter.
It was a career year for Greenwell, and his 23-game winning RBIs in '88 set the AL standard
Going into the bottom
for
of the
decade.
4th, the game is scoreless.
Belted deep to right. He's to the wall. Fly away.
We need to keep the momentum, and it's a good feeling
This
to help
guy
your team
goes
win.
to town on left-handed pitching.
But even as Boston became baseball's hottest team, their rotation sprung a leak when Oil
And the
Can
pitch.
Boyd went down with an injury.
Swing
Boyd
and a
is
miss.
special because of the physical
He's batting
status of him
271
and because of his
with
health
1
being in
long ball
jeopardy.
and
We
4
decided
runs
to
batted
pitch
in.
it.
And Joe Morgan has a new pitcher to replace Oil Can Boyd. And the Red Sox have
count's
just
1 and
acquired
2.
Mike
He went
Bonniger.
around, Kyle. The
One
young
thing I
fella
ever
did.
tried in baseball, because I love Baltimore. I really did.
But
Gets it
after
out
being
to
part
right.
of an 0-21 start in
Makes the
Baltimore,
catch to
Bonniger
record the out.
debuted at Fenway in the
Never
midst of
in
an
doubt.
historic win streak. Bonniger was stifling in his first start for the Sox, going
Jackson
7 in the
takes
3rd
ball
and striking
1.
out 6.
I came in and I contributed to keeping the streak alive.
That streak just continued to climb, and on August 12th, the team had a chance to make history at home.
The count's 2-1.
Guy being the batter knew he got away with a swing there.
American League record 23 straight wins at home.
The run ultimately stretched to 24 games before the first-place Tigers finally ended the historic
He goes out to right.
The Detroit Tigers sitting atop the Heat in the American League.
He's rounding first.
By 3 and the Yankees by 4.
And he's in
But
there
Detroit
standing with a
struggled
double.
through August and seized the top spot in the East on September 5th.
Misses outside.
They called it Morgan's Magic, the run that gave the Sox the AL East title.
Lowell lays off ball 2.
Though the most division drama in the season's
2-1 the
final
count.
week came from Toronto's Dave Steve, who made a dramatic run at history not once, but
Just got
twice.
some wood on it.
Almost every time out, it was like, this may be Steve's night where he throws a no-hitter.
And sure enough, on September 24th in Cleveland,
Payoff
Steve
pitch
was 1 out
coming.
away from his
Sometimes
first
you try to
career
make the
number.
hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
I made my pitch, so I did what I set
A
out to
little
do.
too early, and he
And
throws
that
it
was just
foul.
bad luck of the game there.
What a
And
battle
as luck
this
would
is.
have it, Steve incredibly got 1 out away again at home. Just
Well, you
6
talk about making
nights
a good
later.
pitch right there. He was really back up against the wall, and then he digs deep, makes great pitches, and gets the strike out.
No hit win for Dave Steve.
I looked at it as I felt just fortunate to get that far, and I got the one-hitters, and that was second best. That's what I had to settle for.
He's on his way to the plate. Sends it to the cutoff
man. In 1988, expectations were sky high for the Mets, and star slugger Darryl Strawberry.
Strawberry at 39 home runs, a member of the 30-30 club, 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases.
To have his body to be able to run, hit for that kind of power, he knew there was time for him to kind of take over.
And in 88, the straw man had 21 runs and 55 RBIs at the All-Star break. Numbers that put him in his fifth straight mid-summer classic.
That year, I think I was a force in the league and really played well that year.
If he stays healthy, that could be the most valuable player in the National League here in 1988.
Strawberry was certainly the Mets' most valuable piece, leading them to 100 wins. And a second NL East title in 3 seasons.
The key to scoring a lot of runs is cashing in on runners in scoring position. See if this guy can
Strawberry's 39 homers led the NL, while in the AL, another fighter was bidding for history.
Jose Canseco was coming along and open at that time. They were trying to take it to 40-40.
With 24 first-half homers and 22 stolen bases, Canseco had an unprecedented 40-40 season in his sights.
Basically, I thought if I just stay consistent and use my ability and then come from the slump, I can make the 40-40 club. And 3/4 during the season, I'm on pace for it.
Takes slow.
5 days later, Canseco stole his way into the record books.
Inside. And now it's a full count.
And Canseco was the centerpiece of an Oakland team that won a Major League West 104 games. While the A's tallied their most wins since the franchise had moved to Oakland, in Cincinnati, Tom Browning aimed for his own piece of history on a Friday night in mid-September.
Tom Browning was a guy that you loved to play behind because he got the ball, he looked at the sign, he threw the pitch.
Swing and a miss, and Browning has his second strikeout.
And after he got into a groove, we had a lot of problems.
Not only know he had ball, but perfect ball tonight.
The Reds' offense would get a run across in the sixth, and from there, it only got more frustrating for the visitors.
Well, then it started to take it in. Well, hey, there might be something going on here.
Tom Browning enters in ninth, having retired
inside for a ball.
Boy, that was the toughest, trying to keep everything inside because you're just scared to death.
He got 2 quick outs in the ninth, and then found himself 1 pitch away from perfection.
And here it comes, and it is
2-1.
Tom Browning has pitched a perfect game. The first of this Cincinnati
Pitch
Reds
misses for a ball.
We all go down the bottom of the pile and guys are piling on, and then they lift you up.
Now Browning being hoisted
He's
to the
walked in a run.
It's just a day to take advantage of perfect
And true to form, he took just 1 hour and 51 minutes.
He's done for the day. Here comes a new pitcher.
And brother, was the wait worthwhile?
While the Dodgers were being victimized by perfection, Theres spent the stretch run defying opponents with his own remarkable stretch.
This is a guy that year who presented himself with such great confidence when he took the mound. You really felt good when you were on his team. You had better than average chance to win the game that day.
On August 30th, Hershiser gave up 2 runs in the 5th inning of a complete game win in Montreal.
And a one-hopper to Stubbs, and Orel Hershiser has won his 18th.
And then went from great to historic.
He just was so consistent, being able to deliver pitches in and out the way he can with a great sink.
Sets and delivers. Strike 3.
He was really as dominant as a pitcher could be.
And in September, Hershiser was never better.
He has a string of 40 consecutive scoreless innings.
I really believe it doesn't always relate to results as much as it relates to what you need to do mentally and what you need to do physically to accomplish what your goal is.
When the streak hit 50, Hershiser was just 9 innings away from breaking Dodger great Don Drysdale's all-time mark, set in 1968.
I've said all along that it's certainly approachable, but it's going to take somebody that's in his class to do it.
And he was able to finish the job in San Diego when his last start went into extra innings.
Left-handed pitchers won't be worried too much about this hitter.
0-1.
Great pitch in the black. Would have been a call strike even if the batter didn't swing through.
My congratulations to a great guy. They call him the Bulldog here, and I think all of you have been able to witness it and see why. And at least he kept it in the family.
And the Dodger family was also happy that Hershiser's sensational season and start had propelled him into the postseason.
Slider on the inside corner at the knees for a
The
strike.
Mets dominated the Dodgers in the 1988 regular season, winning 10 of 11 games, and their confidence was sky high heading into the playoff series.
We had all the confidence in the world facing the Dodgers. We pretty much thought we could handle them pretty well. Their offense wasn't tremendous, and we just thought we were the better ball club.
No one on and 2 out.
But L.A. had a different perspective.
Strike with a fastball.
You know, we felt pretty good about our chances against New York. We were heavy underdogs against them. We kind of felt like they were a little bit cocky and a little bit too sure of themselves, maybe looking past us.
1, 2, 3, and the inning is over. After 4.5, the score is 5-0.
As a mismatch. But the Dodgers did have a huge weapon on their side in game 1. Oral Hershiser.
Previous 59 innings, Hershiser held the Mets scoreless into the ninth.
But the Mets finally got a run to cut the Dodger lead to 2-1, and L.A. went to the bullpen.
The one play I don't really talk about a lot, I missed the fly ball in the first game.
Ginter readies for the 1-2 pitch. 2-2 count.
Sometimes you try to make a hitter chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
The home plate ump asked for help at first.
It was a very, very tough loss for us. But, as I told our players, that's the best.
He's called out on strike.
Which means you have to win 4.
He gets ahead of him.
They've only
He never
won
looks
1.
back.
So we bounced back today, and we're even.
But to do that, L.A. would have to beat 20-game winner David Cone with rookie Tim Belcher.
We're down 0-1 in a 7-game series, and we're putting a rookie out there. So, yeah,
hits
probably
it
was
out
the
to
biggest
center.
game of my career.
And the Dodgers helped him
And he
by
puts it
jumping
away
on
for
Cone
the out.
early.
He didn't get all of it. The fielder straight over, got him with it, he's right.
Stepping in 1 for 2, Lance Berkman. The delivery.
For his part, Belcher pitched into the
Taken
ninth,
for a
and
ball.
L.A. cruised to the 6-3 win.
That ride home from L.A. after Game 2 was a pretty bitter pill to swallow for
He hits
us
it over
as a
towards
team.
second.
Back in New York,
with a
the Cubs were
1-2-3
greeted by the
inning.
lead, which postponed
With 5
Game
innings
3,
played,
allowing
the Orioles
Hershiser to
trail
come
by
back on
5.
short rest, albeit
The 7, 8,
in
9
brutal
hitters will be
conditions.
coming up.
The steady rain and bone-chilling cold didn't exactly make for quality baseball.
Out of the zone, that's
Even
a ball.
Oral Hershiser needed help.
Ultimately, the climate could not hinder the Mets offense, which put up 5 runs in the 8th en route to an 8-4 victory.
That's 7 strikeouts.
And in Game 4, the Mets' big bats were strong again.
First pitch. On the ground. There's an out.
Behind Dwight Gooden, the Mets took a 4-2 lead through 8.
Here's the 0-2 pitch.
Davey and I both decided to stay with Doc. Doc was
Sometimes
still
you try to
throwing
make a
very
hitter
well.
chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Socha at the plate.
He rolls one over towards first. He's on first with a base hit.
That slider was doing anything he wanted it to do, and as a result, it got smoked.
It's the biggest of his career.
You would never
Fastball on
think
the
that
inner
he would
half
come
at
up
the
against
knees for a
Kuchar,
stride.
2-run home run in that ball game. I think it just shifted the momentum to the Dodgers.
Momentum
Hits
the
it out
Dodgers would
towards short.
carry into the 12th.
Gathers it in with his glove. Out number 3 with a man left on first. Going into the bottom of the 6th, Baltimore trails by 5.
Another surprising twist.
It got to be 2 out, bases loaded, the crowd's up, and it sort of brought me in the game.
This is a scenario that couldn't have been imagined.
What are you doing with this guy? He can't pitch out of the bullpen.
Sometimes
He
you
just
try to
pitched
make a
a
hit
good
chase
game the day before.
Exactly what you saw right there.
This game, where in the world do you begin?
It is so much fun to do the unexpected.
And the unexpected continued in Game 5 as the Dodgers roughed up Sid Fernandez, coasting to a win in a 3-2 series.
Sometimes you try to make a hit or chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
3-1. Won those games in New York. We felt like we could clinch it back in L.A.
But at Chavez Ravine, David Cohn was set on rebounding from his Game 2 disappointment.
He had that now presence where he always felt confident, and he always felt like he was going to make the big pitch.
Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat.
Tomorrow night, these two teams play one game for the pennant.
That was huge. Pitched 9 innings and shut him down, and that was a huge game for me at that point.
The way this series has been played, it's only poetic justice that it comes to Game 7.
He's rounding second.
Game 7 is one game for the pennant. It's a season compressed into one night.
Ortiz really smoked that ball for him.
The game ended quickly, with the Dodgers scoring 6 runs before they made even 6 outs. And with the Bulldog as tremendous as ever, LA cruised to a shutout and the World Series.
Hershiser was dominant. I guess it was just meant to be for the Dodgers that year.
That's crushed. It's off the wall.
The 1988 ALCS had started historic Fenway Park.
Got a good pitch to hit, and he drove where they wanted to score 2
Fans might have been
for another
excited,
base hit.
but there was a cloud hanging over a Boston club that had lost 6 of its last 7 regular season games.
We came from 9 games out and played great baseball the second half of the season.
Mahomes
and now people are
digs in at the
citing
plate.
our ability as a team and saying we're backing into things. You don't back into something when you win it.
0-1 count.
Meanwhile, the visiting A's, winners of 104 games, were as loose and confident as could be.
Just go to first.
Give me that ball back.
1 out.
I think with our ball club, I think we're going to rely a lot on power, and the way our pitching's done so well this year, I
Next
think we're
up
going to
with
have
a
a slight
pair of
advantage over
runs
the
batted
Boston
in.
Red Sox.
That runner on second
And
is
so
going to
the
be going on
series got
anything
going
hitting
at
on the ground to the
Fenway,
right side.
with fans still high on the manager who
He
turned their
melts it
season
way
around.
back,
And it didn't take long for the action to heat up. In the form of a second inning, bases loaded,
There was no doubt about that.
between a
That
4-run
was out of
lead
here the second it hit the
and AL
bag.
Dodge. Game 1 ended up in the pitcher's duel. But like so many other times in the regular season, one big Oakland bat made a big difference.
This is the word bat. Quality bat is what I need.
He could beat you in a number of ways. He was always dynamic, when he did do it.
Left field.
Low.
Sometimes you try to make the hit or chase your pitch. That's exactly what you saw right there.
Out of here.
The A's took a
3
2-1 lead
balls,
into the
no
ninth.
strikes.
And then against Dennis Eckersley, the Sox got the tying run on second for Boggs.
Dennis Eckersley
Full
gets
count
out of
here.
a big jam, and the Oakland A's have taken a 1-game-to-none lead.
That's a liner back through the middle.
The Sox looked to rebound in Game 2 with their ace on the mound. For Roger Clemens, who knew his very best stuff against the very best of the Oakland lineup, Mark McGuire was just one early victim.
Jackson lays off inside for a ball.
Clemens wasn't perfect, but he left after 6 with the game tied at 3. Then in the ninth, the least experienced athletic in the lineup, shortstop Walt Weiss, had a chance to put the A's ahead.
Hitters count 3-1.
It was a situation where I'm sure Tony thought about pinch hitting for me.
The ball is hit right back up the middle.
Fortunate I came through.
He's on his way to third.
That was one of the bigger hits in my career.
He reaches with a single.
Then, once again, it was Dennis Eckersley's
That
job to
aggressiveness
close
really
the
shows. The runner
door.
went from first to third on the single.
and someone warming up in the bullpen.
A's take a 2-0 lead in this American League Championship Series.
I'm just glad we came in here. We're hoping to take one, we take two. I'm frazzled, and let's get out of town, you know?
Sure enough, the A's packed their bags and headed home happy. But in Game 3 in Oakland, the home team found itself down early, thanks in big part to MVP candidate Mike Greenwell, who doubled in 2 runs in the first and then came up again in the second.
Pitch taken for a ball.
Greenwell hits it deep to right. Canseco turns, watches, it's out of here.
The Red Sox gave Mark back a 5-0 lead in the second, but he couldn't hold it.
That's an RBI single. The Orioles have action in the bullpen. 2 southpaws warming up. The Orioles call for a reliever.
What I did,
They're going to the pen.
Get it right.
The A's pounded out 10 runs on 15 hits, and then again called on Eckersley to close it. The next day, Oakland stayed right on target as Canseco got things
Next up
started
with
in
1
his
run
first
batted in,
at-bat.
Lance Berkman. This guy's a switch hitter, but he definitely prefers to bat right-handed.
Yeah, he was one of those guys that could carry the team on his back, and he did it in that ALCS.
Overall, Canseco hit 3 home runs in the series.
Ground ball up the
But it
middle.
was Eckersley who earned MVP honors, with saves in all 4 games of a streak that carried Oakland to
Nothing
a fall
spectacular there,
classic.
just a good old-fashioned base hit to get things going.
14 years, and this is my first time going to the World Series, and I get the MVP as well. I'll take it. Nice feeling.
From the Oakland A's perspective, the 1988 World Series appeared to be less a contest than a coronation.
We just had a powerful lineup and real good pitching. Good starting pitching, good relief pitching. We just had the whole mix, and we had it going on. So we were supposed to kill the Dodgers because the Dodgers really didn't match up.
You know, just give us the trophy now, I think, is what we were thinking.
Batting third, number 33, right fielder.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That was a purpose
But the
pitch.
series had all
Change up
kinds
off
of
the
Hollywood
plate, hoping the batter
ingredients,
would go
a
chase it.
powerful villain on the
He
field,
strikes out
and
swinging.
comic relief in the
Hey,
stands.
partner, that was a swing guy who was not expecting a break. Strike 3 C.
Annoying. A season that, let me put it this way, if Walt Disney was alive,
That's out number 3 with 3 runners left on
The
base.
Dodgers might have been the only ones believing
After
in
6
themselves
innings, the
and took an
Orioles
early
trail
lead
by
in Game
10.
1. But then
Up next,
Canseco
Willie
came up with the bases
Bloomquist.
loaded in the second.
And there's a drive to center. Back goes Shelby to the wall. It is gone. Grand slam home run for Jose Canseco.
Nobody out.
So Canseco had played his part. But the Dodgers had an injured
He
slot
makes the
who wasn't
catch.
going to give up on
God,
him.
that's not an easy play to
Vin
make it off.
Scully, who knows
He
the
really
Dodgers
flashed
well
the letter
because
there.
he's their announcer during the regular season, he flatly states that Gibson is not available.
The man who was the spearhead of the Dodger offense throughout the year will not see any action tonight for sure.
And Gibson, having heard Vin Scully say that he's
Get
not
towards
available,
second base.
says to Lasorda,
Got him for the out. Hey, I'm sure he came out here with the intention of having a great game. But hey, it's baseball. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you planned.
That he might change his mind.
I had programmed myself to say, when you walk out of the
That one's
dugout,
chopped off the
50,000
plate.
people are going to go nuts. And you won't
Perez
hurt.
retires the side in order. It's time for the 7th inning
Here's
stretch.
us looking back. If I was a Dodger fan, I would. Oh, here comes Kurt.
Look at his crowd on his feet.
He needed a long time to get there, so it was driving me nuts. It's like, get this guy up here. He's the last
Back
out.
to the
Let's get
top
this
of the
thing running.
lineup.
So the Dodgers trying to catch lightning right now.
I got up 0-2 on him in a heartbeat because he couldn't catch up with the fastball.
Fouled away.
Eckersley wasn't going to send me in to get wild card. He didn't take it easy on me because I was hurt, and I didn't expect him to.
We went over it before the game. Gibson's name came up last because we didn't even think he was going to play. But anyway, we did go over him, and we said, don't throw many breaking balls. I remember that.
Before the 3-2 pitch, I stepped out of the box and said to myself, partner, as sure as I'm standing here breathing, you're going to throw me that 3-2 backdoor slider, aren't you?
finishes in a lot of sports, but this one might top almost every other one.
It was indeed hard to believe. But the Dodgers had stolen Game 1 and now had their red-hot ace on the mound for Game 2.
Game 2 of the '88 World Series was like a childhood dream come true. I get 3 hits.
The run scores on a double by Oral Hershiser.
I throw a shutout. Unbelievable. It was unbelievable. It was the best game ever.
But A's fans were defiant as the series shifted north to Oakland. And in the bottom of the ninth of Game 3, Mark McGwire came up with the score tied at 1 and a big momentum shift on the table.
Dirksen goes down on strikes.
3 pitches, 3 strikes, doesn't get easier than that part.
But the next night, it was the Dodgers' turn to edge the A's. Tommy Lasorda's club had a 3-1 series lead, setting up Hershiser for his last mission.
It's the responsibility of what has happened prior and what people expect now out of you. And I'm responsible.
In Game 5, Hershiser was responsible for a complete Game 4 hitter.
They asked the third base umpire
one of the
if he
most
swung.
remarkable runs of pitching ever.
3-2 to Tony Phillips. 5-2 Dodgers.
That's 3 strikeouts.
God, this dude needs to keep his head up. This hasn't been his best game, but he'll live to play another day.
And while the Dodgers mobbed
watches the
Hershiser
ball
on the
inside.
Canseco was left to ponder how David had slain Goliath.
Pitch taken for a ball.
Sometimes you try to make the hitter chase your
and that's where I really rate myself as a manager. I've said it many times. I think Tom Lasorda did a much better job of getting his team ready.
And the
They were the
count is
underdog.
2-1. Swing and a miss, struck him out. With 7 innings played, the score is 10-0.
For the Athletics, disappointment in October 1988 was swept away a year later when the A's won all 4 games against the Giants in a Bay Area Fall Classic.
He's batting .306 with 2 long balls and 13 RBIs.
Suter and Goose Gossage each notched their 300 saves.
Inside for a ball.
In fact, the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind. But so far, the batters are taking these pitches.
The emergence of Dennis Eckersley
count is
further
even at 2.
revolutionized the closer
Sometimes you try
position
to
for
make the
years
hitter
to
chase
come,
your pitch. That's
as
exactly
a
what
long
you saw
line of
right there.
super stoppers would soon emerge. Even if
It's a full
1988
count.
would ultimately be most remembered for a Hollywood ending.
That's 8 strikeouts.
God, every once in a while, you just got to reach back and come up with a good strikeout pitch.
Left-handed pitchers won't be worried too much about this hitter. 0-1 the count. Puts it away for the out.
God, he didn't get all that ball. The fielder struggled, got under it, made an easy play.
Taken for a ball. Here's the 1-0 delivery. They appeal to the first base ump. 3-2 count.
Welcome to baseball
Hit
season
towards first base.
1989.
He comes up a little
Seismic
bit short.
changes.
He's out with a 2-out single.
Hey, great hitters have a knack for finding holes and getting base hits.
With a new decade on the horizon, 1989 was a year packed with monumental change, environmental awareness, and democratic growth.
On the ground, he's got it. What a tremendous diving play.
But perhaps the most
side where the runner left on
featured the birth in England of a new frontier known as the World Wide Web, the first step to connecting the globe.
Going into the bottom of the eighth, the score is 10-0.
On the home front, fans of the national pastime were still basking in the glow of a miraculous fall classic.
Pitch misses for a ball.
Look like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind. So far, the batters are taking these pitches.
Oh, my God.
As the championship echoes of 1988 subsided, the Dodgers were in pre-production for a Hollywood sequel heading into the '89 campaign.
'89 is completely different. You're the world champions. Spring training is completely different. You know, you're the big deal. You're opening the season. Expectations were high.
For the Oakland A's, expectations were also enormous. Coming off a 104-win season and hoping to avenge their painful loss to the Dodgers.
Calls him high, makes great pitches, however, comes all the way back and gets a strike.
I could not believe, I still have a hard time to this day believing that
they're sending up a right-handed hitter to face the left-hander.
I know that Orel Hershiser and the Dodgers and Kirk Gibson's home run and all those things ended up beating them. But that team had everything you could imagine.
Slider. We were really good.
I'm talking about a push-button club.
That's 6
really
strikeouts.
Up and down the lineup.
3 pitches, 3 strikes. Couldn't get easier than that.
Roster.
Up next with one single already, Mike Sloan.
I consider Oakland the best team in baseball. I know they are.
3-2. Head way back.
If anyone knew firsthand about Oakland's prowess, it was the Boston Red Sox, who had succumbed to the A's in the '88 LCS.
That's a 3-pitch strikeout. With 1 inning remaining, the score is 10-0.
But in '89,
right-handed
the Sox were primed to repeat in the AL East, led by 5-time batting champion Wade Boggs and AL MVP runner-up Mike Greenwell.
Here comes the first pitch of the
Still,
at-bat.
there were other clubs to look out for.
Lee sends this pitch to shallow left. Cabrera makes the grab for the out. Cole
Like the
is
Blue
up.
Jays, who were also taking aim at the AL East title, with the sense that all the ingredients
Ground ball
were in
pulled
place.
down to the left side. The Baltimore Orioles are down to their final out. Next at the plate, Willie Bloomquist.
George Bell.
Fouled away to the right.
And an infield game, Kevin Hoover. We just had an outstanding team.
We were kind of, I think, the focus of the division last year. Our players, I think, realized that they let something slip through their hands last year. For the first time, 89 wins won this division, which is ridiculous. And we had a good opportunity to win this division, and they know they let it slip by. And I think that they realize that this happened. And I think there's a rededication on the part of our players not to let that happen.
2 ball, 2 strike count.
Sometimes you
On
try
the
to make a
senior
hit
circuit,
chase your pitch.
the New
That's
York
exactly
Mets
what
were
you saw
coming
right
off their own disappointment in the NLCS. But there was no denying a star-studded roster that had led the league in both home runs and ERA.
He delivers.
We had offense, we had defense, and obviously
the count runs full.
Look like the pitcher and catcher have a strategy in mind. So far, the batters are taking this pitch.
Staff that basically was second.
Kind of a great way to end the game if you're on the pitcher's team.
I don't know if we thrive on being the favorite. I think, we have a lot of talent, and we realize that we're expected to win, especially in New York, and we're looking forward to that challenge.
Gobble is the loser.
One team hoping to be up for the challenge was the Chicago Cubs, led by their own potent arsenal of offense and veteran pitching, even if Don Zimmer's club wasn't exactly viewed as favorites.
Chicago Cubs in 1989, I was the manager.
Last run here is a runner. Anybody? Go!
Every sports writer in the country picked this last. If I was a writer, I would have picked this last myself.
On the battleground of the NL West, the defending champions would face stiff challenges from their in-state rivals, the Giants and Padres. San Diego had added steady southpaw Bruce Hurst from Boston, who joined batting champion Tony Gwynn as he took aim at a third straight title.
1, 2, 3, 4, go. See? You see what I'm saying? You may have to go to the fence. You may catch the ball here, and sometimes you may catch it here. You don't know how you're going to catch it.
The San Francisco Giants had the luxury of Hall of Fame advice to start their '89 campaign.
There you go. Very good.
Third baseman turned outfielder Kevin Mitchell was entering his prime and hoping to form a powerful 1-2 punch with slugger Will Clark.
We're going to sneak up on some people. You know, the way everybody's talking right now, the Padres have it won, and Dodgers are defending world champs. We'll sneak up on some people.
We'll give them a rough day.
Yeah, give them all they can handle.
At the dawn of the 1989 baseball season, there were flickers of the dawn of democracy on the other side of the world, in China, when the death of former Communist Party chairman Hu Yaobang touched off summer-long protests in Beijing, leading to the Tiananmen Square massacre, which would produce startling images the world couldn't ignore. Meanwhile, back in the U.S., there was an escape from the unsettling news with the new season starting, and in the spotlight was a prodigious new talent looking to usher